Today, we're going to talk about qualitative and quantitative research. When we try to solve a problem, when we try to get information to help us, we have to decide how we're going to do our research. The question always arises, do we do qualitative or quantitative research? We're going to talk a little bit about the differences, what they're used for, and how both of them can be effective. See, even though they're different, they're not really competitors. They both have a different purpose when we're trying to acquire knowledge about a particular topic. Like two different tools, they complement each other. They both work together in sequence to help us accomplish our purpose. Let's talk about some of the purposes. Qualitative research and quantitative research. Qualitative research helps us to be exploratory, look for true meanings, get really deep into a topic, develop a hypothesis, and ask questions like why or how. Quantitative research, on the other hand, helps us look for relationships among variables or characteristics, helps us to predict things, and allows us to test hypotheses, ask questions like how much or how often, what is a relationship among variables. Qualitative data are things that we normally write about. They're normally things even like names or opinions or feelings. Sometimes we even classify them as things that can be experienced with our five senses, things we see or hear or feel. Quantitative data, on the other hand, are things like money, time, temperature, things with a naturally occurring numeric value. We can count them or measure them, income, prices, or maybe even we can categorize them or rank them in a certain order. We gather qualitative data and quantitative data differently. Qualitative data normally is gathered from things like interviews, talking to someone, exploring their feelings, surveys, and observing how things are working by watching. Quantitative data, on the other hand, we normally do things like count it for discrete data, or we measure it for continuous data. We can calculate relationships. We can even group and categorize that data. Maybe even we use data that's been calculated from someone else. We use them in different purposes as well. Qualitative data we use to formulate a hypothesis, or maybe with a rare or unique population, something we're really trying to explain in detail and depth. Quantitative data is great for large data sets where we're looking for those relationships or mathematical explanations among them. Some pros and cons. Qualitative data, some of the pros. Qualitative data is great when you have a very small sample size. Again, it allows you to delve into really deep relationships and information about a particular small group. It actually even brings the researcher into an environment and opens our eyes of ways to think about particular relationships. Some cons, though, about qualitative data are that they're hard to replicate. You can't always can't test or prove or disprove a hypothesis. You can't make inferences really about a different population. And sometimes things like our feelings change, so they're hard to apply to a different set of data. Quantitative data, some pros, can be used to prove or disprove a hypothesis with a certain level of statistical or mathematical confidence. Can handle large sample sizes and allows us to make an inference or a prediction about other populations as long as certain criteria are met. Someone else can come behind us and duplicate our numbers, our results, if we give them the same data. And it allows us, in one sense, to not miss the forest because we were so focused on looking at an individual tree. takes out opinions of the researchers and looks for specific data that helps us get those things to test those hypotheses. Some cons, though, of quantitative data: we can always have measured error. It can be very rigid. It can miss some nuances. It can miss the true meaning of relationships. And just because two sets of numbers are correlated does not mean one causes the other. So again, qualitative and quantitative research are not opposites or competitors. They're different, have different purposes, they complement each other, and they both contribute to our understanding of whatever topic we're trying to research. I hope this helps. Thanks. See you next time.